a child, my mother used to tell me to beware of flies and crows, but I never understood what that meant. She told me that I would understand when I was older. Mom passed away when I was 13, and I moved in with my grandfather. Even though I was devastated at the loss of my mother, it still brought a small smile to my face that my new room was my mom's childhood bedroom. The first time I ever saw that room was right after I moved in. It was colder than the rest of the house, but I had plenty of blankets to keep warm. Little did I know, my mom never let me see that room for a reason. My first night sleeping in the room, I kept hearing a dragging noise going up and down the hallway outside my bedroom door. It terrified me, but I was able to cover up with my blankets and fall asleep. When I woke up the next morning, I had bruises up and down my arms, and they looked like fingerprints. I was a little kid, and I didn't comprehend what was happening. I did, however, notice a few flies on the windowsill that weren't there the night before. After the first night, things seemed to intensify every day. The second night, I was woken up by the sound of flies buzzing around my room. When I turned the light on, my room was infested with flies, and I had to sleep on the couch while my grandpa sprayed my room with an insecticide. The third night, there were loud knocking sounds around my room all night long, but the fourth night is when the activity was the worst. My blanket was ripped off the bed, and I could feel something grab my ankles. It was a cold feeling that made me feel sick to my stomach. Without warning, I was pulled off my bed onto the floor as I screamed for my grandpa. It continued for weeks on end. I had nowhere else to live except foster care. Every morning, I picked out a long-sleeve shirt and sweatpants to hide my collection of bruises. The walk to school was like torture. Every part of my body was sore, and my walk was mostly uphill. My grandpa didn't believe me, and I wondered if he didn't believe my mom either. Unfortunately, my gym class was focused on swimming exercises, and I had no choice but to participate. Everyone stared at me in silence when I walked out of the locker room. Child Protective Services was called, and I eventually was taken into the state's custody, all because of a ghost. When we went to my grandpa's to gather my belongings, hundreds of crows circled the property. I now understand.